Hey, it's Mark here. Today I made one trade. I shorted CLNE, Clean Energy. I shorted it at 471. I shorted it right at the open. This is the intraday chart for a Monday, and it did exactly what I wanted it to do. I posted that setup on the blog and on Twitter. Here's a 4-day chart. You see it just took out all this support right here. It took that out and just tanked right at the open. Some people say don't trade the open, wait 15, 20 minutes or something like that. But to me, the open is the most important time to trade. It's really the most important because that's when usually the stocks will have their direction for the day. They'll set it up. Well, at least stocks I trade. So this one, the open, pretty much told the story. It crashed at the open and kept crashing all day. I actually had two orders out. I had a stop order to buy TRCH, and that didn't trigger because it didn't do what we're looking for. But this one, I actually just bought it I bought it with a market order at the open, and I like to use market orders because if I use a stop order and the stock's moving fast, if it misses my stop, my if I put in a limit order. If I put in a limit order and I don't get filled, then I totally missed the move. So that's why I like to use market orders, because a market order is going to get you in, no matter what. I mean, even if it's pretty liquid stock, I mean, you're not going to get a horrible fill. So I'm not really scalping for you know pennies. I mean, so it really doesn't matter to me if I get a market order because I'd rather be able to participate in it and just get in real quick with a market order than totally missed it, which I could do, if I use a limit order. So shorted 471 right here. I I saw it hit. I saw it break down again here, but it kept hitting 440 as support right here. It kept holding that, and right here. So it kept finding support right here, and there wasn't much volume, but the stock was already down about 8% at that point. It was down 8% on the day, and judging by how long the candles are, how long it will usually go down or up, that was pretty much what I would expect for it to do on the day. I expected it to actually bottom here, or at least find some support probably. Because let's pull up. I'll show what I'm talking about. I'm looking at the on a longer term chart. You can see how this candle right here was really long. Long means it was down a lot. It has a wide ranging day. It was a volatile day, you could say. And here it goes up, but see, like right here, it's not that vol. Like when it was breaking down here, it's down like it was like 5% a day or something. And but I was expecting it to put in like a day like that or like that. And I mean, it's just a great setup right here. I mean, look at this, look at that resistance right there. And then this was potential support, and that was what I was thinking about too when I took the profit, is this line right here. So it was down about right here, and I'm like, well, that's a pretty good move already. I mean, 8% a day is pretty big. So uh, I took off about 3/4 of the position first, just because I was gonna ride it out, and then I figured why not I'll just take it all, and I sold I sold initially at 445. I got filled at 445, I think it was, and 445, 446, and then when I was doing this stuff right here, I went ahead and filled at 441. So I got a good fill on that, and it is with a market order. You know, it's not thin enough to use limit orders on this, and so I got filled at so it's probably like a 442 average. So, and it eventually went down more, which is pretty amazing, but I mean not surprising given what the rest of the market did today. You can see this is my watch list. It's all red, and luckily I was in the right trade. I was short, which you know it comes from experience, I guess. You know, looking at it, you know, I'm not gonna try to find all long setups. Let's look at TRCH because that was one I put up on the blog, and I'll just show you what I was looking at on that one. Just typing that in right now. TRCH. That's not it. I really like this platform, the Medved Trader. It's really great. I've only used Quote Tracker and you know just you know my broker stuff, and it's really good. So here's TRCH. Just get this one so we can see it. It's a bullish stock. It's bullish. And it's got a bunch of resistance right here, and you can see the volume is really light. The sell volume, the red on this flag. So this looked like a pure flag to me. And you can see it was even higher on this flag, but that was turned out to be a flag too. And I traded this. I traded this one back here. I bought this this triangle breakout right here, and I traded it then. And I just kind of saw this in a scan again. I saw this hammer right here. This hammer right there. It's actually three hammers in a row basically. That's a perfect one right there, and then there, doji, and then it just tanked out. I don't know if that was the rest of the sector of the market, but I did see this one testing the highs up here. So it doesn't matter. I mean, I didn't buy it because I was gonna buy it up at 226. So that was an instance where it made sense to wait for it to move, because sometimes you know traders will they'll preempt a move or they'll wait for it, and usually if you wait for it and you know there's gonna be some move, you're gonna you know have less stop outs than if you just if you just buy everything or trade everything that looks like it could move. So I'm more of a reactive trader usually than a preemptive, you know, to see a move coming or anticipate it. You know, I want to see it. I want to see the stock do what I think it's going to do first, and then I'll enter the trade. I mean, sometimes there's been times when I haven't, where I'm so positive. I think with that TRCH, I knew it was going to break out. You know, if it's like a triangle or something like that, I'll just go ahead and buy it instead of wait for the move because I just get a better fill, you know, a better price. So I was looking at gold. I was looking at these is gold miners, and gold miners are super volatile. See, I posted up on Twitter. This is a descending triangle. Look at all this support right here. All this support at 13, right at 13. And it's actually right at 13, which is pretty impressive too. It's got a bunch of support, and then it just keeps going down to this down, 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 and Bolly's getting tight. But you know, what really matters is this triangle thing going. And I mean, it's pretty messy. It's a messy triangle, so I mean it could go up again, you know, to above this, but the support right here is pretty significant, and it looks like he wants to test it. That's what I posted up on Twitter. So IBB, yeah, here we go. Yeah, MBLY was a Citron short. Citron Research is they're basically a short biased analyst website. They put out bearish articles on stocks, and it has the inverse effect of a pump. It'll actually cause a bear raid in a stock. So you see, they put out the article right here, and maybe the bear raid started. Well, it's actually not conclusive that it was. Well, it's kind of a higher volume one. In the lower volume names, they will actually their article will cause a bear raid. And a bear raid is just a when short sellers, excuse me, short sellers pile on. And so yeah, excuse me, oil. I'm looking at that. Um, I got allergies. My allergies are kind of flared up in the morning, and sorry, right now. And USO doesn't really. There's so much decay in it. Like it doesn't look anything like the actual futures. It's just so choppy. I mean, look. It almost doji today. I'm just waiting for this to see what happens here at this support. And well, it's really like since it's decayed, it's more like that. I mean, it's more like that, but uh, yeah. Let's see. Let's look at crude oil. Yeah, here we go. And this is stock charts, and it throws up all these moving averages. I don't use moving averages, and it by default it'll have RSI 14 and MACD and all, you know, and these moving average crosses and stuff. But I always take those off before before I use it. And but I mean, what I'm looking at here is this triangle, this really pretty triangle on crude oil. This is the futures spot, so it's not so off like USO. There we go. Man, that's nice. So it's probably, I mean, if it continues on, it'll finish up in about a week or so, right here at the tip, and it could go out earlier. It could go earlier, which is what I posted on Twitter. And it's finding it perfect. I mean, look at how it hugs right on the resistance and support lines. You know, that's what I call a clean chart. Some people will draw lines like they'll call, you know, they'll just start drawing lines anywhere. Like, oh, look at that. That's support right there. And look, this is and they'll draw a line like this. Look, that's resistance. Or you know, you can't make up what you want to see. You can't. If it's there, either it's there or it's not there. And then there's a little pennant. Uh, there's a good one. So just ignore that. And so I honestly have no idea which way it's gonna go. So I'm just gonna wait for it to break out of this. So that's crude oil. And what else are we looking at? Oh yeah, we talked about MBLY. I mean, this one still is bare. I mean, this one still could go. It could crash. I mean, it's just in a downtrend. See, I'm probably over like 10 minutes on this because it takes me a while to upload these videos because I upload them on YouTube, and the longer they are, the longer they take to upload. So I'll try to keep it short and sweet, but I like talking about this stuff, so I mean, I could talk about it for probably an hour or two. So so we got a clear channel right here. I mean, look at this channel. It's in a downtrend. That was a good short. That was actually a really good short entry there. So right now it's kind of no man's land. I mean, it's in the middle. It's, you know, if I short it here, it could easily pop up to this resistance again. So unless it does like it does a biotech crash, you can see how it kind of, as soon as it gets out of that channel, it just pops back up. So this is what you call an internal trend line. It's an internal trend line. It's where price finds support and resistance the most often. Well, actually, it would be about there. See it, if we drew a true classic trend line, it would be like right here. Cause see how that's the very bottom of it. But that was just a fluke, because you know they don't price doesn't always follow the rules perfectly. So it's more it found support here and here, like one, two, 1, 2, 3. You know, it's more like right there. And like here, let's say this candle's longer. You know, you don't start up here. You know, you start where it hits. It tested there, tested there, tested there, tested there. So it's where it finds. It's the most. It's like the average kind of the. Like right here, it tested here. This was. It just got ahead of itself. And this is actually pretty good. This can be a signal when it like like up here at this hammer, the shooting star. It went up here and came back into this range, and just the fact that it failed to break out of the trading range is a signal in itself. So a lot of times, you know, when it goes outside of the trend lines and comes back in, that's a signal to, you know, either buy or short, because it's respecting those lines. It's like a failed signal when it fails to break out of it. And I haven't looked at all this stuff since this afternoon, so yeah, there's a major NSC. This is a total failed signal it did up on that day, on the Fed day. It went up and then shooting star, it printed shooting star. So I think it looks like they're gonna test the lows again. And I was looking at high yield bonds, which are a leading indicator right now. They're going lower, and this China looks like it's going lower. But I was more looking at high yield bonds. So, oh yeah, this is the biotech. Biotech was amazing. The puts, the 295 puts. One of the guys I follow on Twitter, he bought the 295 puts like during in the morning, and those are up over 100% on the day. Those are all at that point. I mean, this to me it could be oversold, but I mean, look at all that volume. And it could. I mean, it actually it looks like it looks like a top, a long-term top, you know, multi-year. Because the trend, this is the trend line. It just see it came up and tested it. See, you just draw a line, then you see the real story. See that trend line I drew? This is an internal. See, this spike right here was it disregarded the trend line, then came back up, like I was just talking about. And see it tested, and then right here it broke down. came up, and well, it didn't test it perfectly, but it came up, and that was new support, and now it's just crashing. Pretty serious volume, and apparently the government's getting involved in uh, in biotech and everything too. So it looks oversold now, but who knows? Well, that's all I want to talk about right now. And if I see good stuff, I'll post it up. Have a great night.